Good day and welcome to the Namibia Annual Sport Expo. I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. Today I will be joined by several sport administrators from different sport federations who will be sharing their views on their federations. Good day and welcome to the Expo. I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. And in studio, I'm joined by Namibia Golf Federation. That's Miss Brenda. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Jesse. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's always a privilege. You look quite appealing today, I must say. Well, Miss Lenz, of course, we can see. Could you just tell us about yourself, who Miss Lenz is, and what you do at the Golf Federation?
I'm Brenda Lenz. I am currently the Secretary General of the Namibian Golf Federation, and I'm also the trustee for Golf Africa for the Southern region.
When you hear about golf, you think of the elite because it's always that elite class.
Yes.
But first, before we go into that, could you tell me about the management structures in the federation, who is on top and how it works?
We've got the Namibia Golf Federation, which is on top, and the president currently is Mr. Marcus Schwartz. And then we have got the Namibia Golf Union, which is the men's, that they dealing with the men's. We've got the Namibian Ladies Golf Union dealing with the ladies. We've got the Namibian Junior Golf Foundation that's doing the junior development. We've got the SAGES, which is all the guys over 50, dealing with them. And then we will also, we've just been approached for the disabled. Because as you know that the disabled golf will be a Paralympic event in the near future, and but they have to be registered by yes.
Thanks so much with that. I wanted to know as well the history of the sport in Namibia, because of course many people know that golf is played. You hear people on social media taking cool pictures, you might say, and you see events as well. The inception of it, I don't want to put you under pressure because I'm sure it comes a long way back, but would you just
elaborate a bit? Yes, I must say golf is actually, it was first played in, as we know, the Old Southwest back in the late 1890s. And that was when, it was World War I. We had German occupation. The Germans didn't want us to play golf. But when the English came, of course, golf was introduced. And the first golf course was actually established in 1916. And that was the winter golf course that was at the railway tracks. And the management of the railways always fought with the guys because they were, when you hit a golf ball, it doesn't always go where it should. And sometimes it lands on the tracks and the guys would play it off the tracks. So they made them move to Van Eck. That was the second golf course, and then finally they moved in 1972. They moved to the current location, which is the Winter Golf Course.
At the Winter Country.
At the Winter Country Club, yes. We do understand that the first place that golf was actually played was in Walvis Bay. But yes, that's the history of Windhoek, and then of course
You've actually managed to start exploring other places.
Absolutely.
And taking it to the people, I understand.
Yes.
Of course, I would like to know what are the current happenings of the code, what has the Golf Federation has been up to, and...
We were in the absolute privileged situation where golf is a non-contact individual sport. So even though, in these tough times now with the COVID, etc., we were able to still play golf in the later stages because you are individually on the field. So it could go on, but we had to stop our national tournaments. We stopped them for the rest of the remaining of this year. But we have just been notified that the All Africas will be taking place next year, if all goes well. So we will probably start resuming that pretty quickly.
Okay. What are some of these national tournaments that you're speaking of?
Well, what happens is that in order for us to select a national team, the men host their tournaments, the juniors their tournaments, and the ladies their tournaments. And these are tournaments that are scheduled across the year. They range from between 8 tournaments to 12 tournaments, and they are played on all the various courses. Mainly on Windhoek, Meyer, Rosmund and Chumeb courses. They also played on Gobabis, some of them. And so that is to get the entire nation the opportunity to play in these amazing tournaments and to be able to qualify for national colors, and that is ultimately what you want.
What you want, it's true, that's right. What you want. I've seen that the Windhoek Country Club golf course has always attracted number of elite players and all that. Is it still happening at the moment?
It is still happening. Windhoek Golf Course, they're doing wonderful strides there at this stage. Of course, you've got Amaya that is just 30 kilometers away. That's also got amazing golfers. But I must tell you, in all honesty, we have got some exponential potential all over Namibia. We have Oshikati Golf Club. Even though it's not a grass golf club, they have just started, they've revamped their golf course. It is still the gravel golf course, that is so, but they've got a lot of golfers starting there and getting active.
So the interest is growing.
The interest is growing, definitely, yes.
Going into the interest, of course, when you have an interest, you want the youth involved. You want programs. You want continuity to go on. I mean, after the elite, the ones that are involved right now, after they retire, you need that continuation. What are the plans ahead, or what are the plans in place?
Well, we've got with our Namibia Junior Golf Foundation, we are really working with the juniors. Yes, it was difficult these last this last year, but going forward, what we've done is that we are paying coaches in selected golf clubs to help the juniors, especially the juniors that can't afford it, because golf is unfortunately, there are certain fees, etc., that you have to pay, but especially for juniors that can't afford it, to get coaching lessons. So we pay these coaches to coach the juniors, get them up and running, and get them to enjoy the game. That's the main thing.
Okay, in terms of schools, have you been involved with schools in any way, programs, well, just to encourage or to create awareness about the sport? Because to be honest, most of the times, or back in the years, it was classified as an elite sport and all that. So what has the Golf Federation been doing, especially to create awareness in school about the sport?
All right, what we have started with a school league, and that is by far the easiest way to get it into the schools, because schools love competing with each other.
Yes, it's very true.
And the juniors love to compete. So we've started with that. It was going very well. Obviously, it had to stop with lockdowns, etc., but it will definitely continue next year. So what we do is we have got them during the week. They can go and play at some of the courses for free, and then they will have a league game and then the finals at the end of the year.
End of the year. Are you happy with the response from the learners and those that have grown interest in the sport?
Very much so. We are very, very happy. If you look at the Namibia junior team that would have competed last year in Egypt, they were at their prime. We put so much effort in. We sent them for training to South Africa, and they played against some junior Springboks and that kind of thing. And we were very optimistic that they would have definitely ranked amongst the top 3 in Africa at that stage. So it was very sad that they couldn't go, but we will definitely work forward.
Okay. I think for many Namibians out there, a name that they can, or that echoes around the golf fraternity everywhere in the world, is Tiger Woods.
Absolutely.
A great legend and that. But I would like to know from our own land of the brave, what are our success stories locally and internationally?
Yes.
Have we produced among the best in Africa and world?
I must say, our most noted golfer would have to be Mr. Trevor Dodds. He turned professional in 1985. So he's been coming for a long time. But he has actually won 13 major events, right through from the Canadian Open, the PGA Sunshine Tours, and he was also South Africa in the Sunshine Tour there. He won that competition, which is remarkable. And currently he's still active in the PGA senior event, in the senior.
These are the kind of guys that you need
Absolutely.
to encourage and motivate.
Yes.
So in terms of national team, has our team actually been competing at the highest level, and has there been some successes?
Our teams have, they definitely have. With the men's team 2 years ago, they had the regional All Africa, and they came second. That was done in Rosemont, so very good congratulations to them. The ladies team has also been working very hard. And then, as I say, the junior teams are really, really, we wait for spectacular moments from them.
Yes. Well, we always hope that we can produce more Trevor Dodds.
Yes,
we need to produce that to keep the game alive here locally.
I must say, that's for the professional. On the personal side, on the amateur side again, we had 3 years ago the first in 20 years African team to win the international pairs in Portugal, which was an amazing feat. And I must say, the two gentlemen that won there, Winterlager took them over. It was, and they were competing against, I think there was 30 countries. So well done to them.
Well
yes
done. Well, to anyone sitting at home there and who would love to play golf or join the fraternity, how do they do it? Are there any registration processes involved, or how do you come about to become the next Tiger Woods or Trevor Dodd?
Yes, well, I must say, if you look at, we've got 12 golf courses spread over Namibia, which is fantastic. So anybody can, in actual fact, join a club. Or before you join a club, what I would suggest you do is have a lesson or two with a coach, just, to see how you actually grip a club, that kind of thing, get the basics ready, right? Go and play a game, and you will most probably know that you love the game. And then once you start playing, you register with a club. And the main reason for doing that is that your round fees that you play with is much cheaper. And you can then register within the Saga system, which allows you to get a handicap. And that's what you mainly want, is a handicap, so that you can compete. If you've got a handicap, you can compete with people like Tiger Woods, and because you've got a lot more shots.
Well, Ms. Lance, thank you for gracing us with your elegance. I know golf is a sport of elegance, it's a sport of the elite. Thank you so much for coming through. That was Miss Brenda Lance. So from me, Jesse Jackson Karaiza, ciao.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
You know, a few weeks ago, I would never do this on a Saturday morning. Back then, I was standing in line all day. Now it's just like that.
You are using the FNB banking app like I told you.
Girl, it saved my weekend. Now I can do all my banking on this.
Payments, transfers, checking statements.
Even opening accounts.
Just like that.
Oh, did I tell you what my husband did?
Even me, I want to save time with the, what's the name of the app?
FNB app.
Don't be left behind. Make the switch to the FNB app, online banking or cell phone banking, and change the way you bank to change your life. FNB, how can we help you?